Good morning from another beautiful day in Israel, and groups and actually tourists can enter Israel. You can see it in front of you at the entrance to the Church of the Holy the Church of the Agony, Garden of Gethsemane. And I'm so happy then. If you want to book a tour through me, do that, but if you don't do that, but please visit Israel. I think the tourists are celebrating 2 horrible years without tourists. I'm one of them. I'm dedicated that amazing tour to 2 couples, but before that we'll talk about that. Let's say thank you to Bob Quilty, because he actually ordered those 2 crosses. I'm talking about the Jerusalem crosses that I will actually bless in every holy site at the Garden of Gethsemane. And it's dedicated to 2 amazing stories, to Lari and Kaija Junkkari. I hope that I didn't destroy it. They are from Finland, and Lari is a retired pastor, but he is a religious writer that I'm sure that you can read something from him. And to Joe and Sandra from Canada, Barkley-Probst, sorry if I'm destroying it. He's a pastor, and Sandra is an organist, and writes music and plays it with Joe. And a win-win situation. I hope that later on you will send me a Bob or a Larry or Joe and Sandra, send me some links through the internet, through the videos, then I will be able to listen to you, to see, to hear from you. Garden of Gethsemane. Although it's a beautiful day, it's an agony story, and for me the Via Dolorosa, the way of the cross, the way of the misery of Jesus actually started from here. Not from the judgment place, which later on I will take you there. That is a place that Jesus and the disciples went back from Mount Zion after they having their last supper, Passover supper, which is, you see, that is the eastern wall of the temple. Later on, from Garden of Gethsemane, you will see the Dome of the Rock, which used to be the site of the Jewish temple. But let's say half a mile from here, there's a small, lovely hill. It's called Mount Zion, and there you can visit the room of the Last Supper. Through my channel, you can actually visit the room of the Last Supper, the Canaculum. I have hundreds, I don't know, hundreds, at least 50 videos of it as well. Then what I want you to imagine is Jesus walking back together with the disciple. Now he knows, although he knows what will happen. He knows that one of them, we know that it was Judas, will betray him. He knows that tomorrow at the same hour, now it's 10 o'clock, he will be judged by Pontius Pilate. He knows that he will carry the cross. He must be crucified because he came for it. But it's not an easy mission to anyone. And the worst thing is that the disciples couldn't understand it. They didn't understand that he will die tomorrow and resurrect 3 days later. It sounds difficult, especially for Jews who never experience it. They know that the resurrection will be when the Messiah will come. And although they knew already that Jesus is the Messiah, Son of God, it was still difficult for them to understand it. Then, I can see groups that are going out of the church. My last videos of Garden of Gethsemane were without anyone. I was alone there. Even the priest stayed in his priest room and let me actually bless you, my subscribers, and the one who are watching the videos, my videos, without any problem. Then the facade and the church that you see was built by Bertolucci, an Italian architect, which I really adore. But it actually, although it's a new church from 1924, it was built on top of the 4th and the 12th century. And this is the story of Jerusalem, building, destroying, building, destroying, building, destroying. You got the message. Here on the facade you can see a beautiful mosaic. First of all, from the book of Psalm, you can see the 2 deers that drink in the water of Jesus. And the mosaic shows you reality in a way. Jesus is alone. He knows that he's going to be crucified. On one side he doesn't want it, but this other side he knows that this is his mission. The disciples fell asleep, and here you can see 2 groups, and the angel. You can see the angel comes to help him. You see, I am the first one and the last one, Alpha and Omega. There are 2 groups of believers. Both of them are believers in Jesus, but the left one asking for questions. I want to know. I want you to prove me that it's actually happened. Incognito. You can see at the book there, incognito. Ignorance. The other one is of a believer that never asks questions. They believe in Jesus. They know that there is a reason for everything, and you can see even an old lady with a dead child in her hand, and she still believes in Jesus. You can see the 3 archers, Trinity, and the 4 Gospels, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, are standing with the books, because 4 of them wrote about what's happened here in Garden of Gethsemane. I think the only one who didn't mention the word Garden of Gethsemane or Gethsemane was the book of Luke. Just say that they went back to the Garden of Gethsemane, to Mount of Olives. It's so strange to see 2 groups here. Not because I'm the guardian, because now I have to think about them. I don't want to be done. I'm taking both of you for a nice visit in the church itself. Then Joe and Lari, you are safe with me. Oh, another group is now entering. Beautiful. I knew that something has happened because I saw the small shop there. And if there is a shop here, then it means that there are tourists, because for the last 2 years he wasn't there. Well, let me cross that horrible road. It's horrible because no one will actually stop for me, but I'm not doing it legally anyhow. About the crosses, if you wanted to have it for yourself, at the description of that video you will find the link for Buy Me a Coffee, and you can actually do that. The information is there, and there are various crosses, not only the Jerusalem cross, which is a symbol of being in Jerusalem. And yes, of course I will send it to your house. Then I'm entering now a small road. Wow! Look how many people. I'm a little bit jealous. Lots of them are groups. I'm usually doing private tours. I love to be with 10,000 people in one group, but I prefer to be in 2, 5 people. It's better. Better for me, better for the group. But it doesn't matter for me. You can see the Jerusalem cross on the church as well. Jerusalem is the main cross here. And the 4 others can be 4 Gospels, 5 stigmatas all over, everything, whatever you would choose.
Maybe we're doing.
מה שלומך? בסדר, וואי, רגע, כן, אותך לא ראיתי.
רגע, אני אכניס את הקבוצה שלי.
אוקיי. And so 2 of the tour guides. Then, here we are. Oops, entering to the garden. The connection between those 2 crosses and the garden is that those crosses are made of olive wood. And you can see the earth of the Holy Land as well. Before you will ask me how old those trees are, then I must tell you that there are so many rumors. Some say at least some of those trees like that one and that one are from 2,000 years ago. Some say 1,000 years ago. Some say not more than 350 years ago. But the only common thing here, and this is important for me, is that if you will cut an olive tree, it will grow again. Cut it again, it will grow again. Cut it again, you got the message. Then I can say that if those weren't the trees, then those are the siblings, the trees from the same family that Jesus actually sowed. Now, it wasn't daylight. I mean, maybe he was here in daylight too, but if we're talking about the last week of Jesus, we're talking about Thursday night, which is in a way can be already Friday night. I want you to imagine the darkness. I want you to see here 3 of his disciples, James, John, and St. Peter. And Jesus is actually leaving them and telling them, please pray. And Jesus went to pray as well. But when he came to meet them, he realized they fell asleep. According to the Gospel of Mark and Matthew, they fell asleep because they were human. I love Luke. Luke actually tells us that they fell asleep because of the misery. You know, when you are so afraid, when you don't know what's really happening, when it's scary, you're resting, you're falling asleep, you're running away from those troubles, then I prefer to look at it like that. The church itself, I won't be able to talk now. Actually, I won't be able to talk anyhow, but I will try to do that quietly. But if there are groups there are more, maybe I won't. Then what you're going to see, you're going to see a few things that I want you to pay attention to. First of all, you can see a little bit of the dome of the rock. You see the golden dome? And the golden gate. The golden gate, according to what we believe, Jesus will enter to the city through that gate. The Golden Dome is a Muslim site. According to the Muslims, that's where Muhammad ascended into heaven to meet God himself. But, there's a big but, according to the Jews, that was the foundation rock. That is where God created the world. And the story of Abraham and Isaac was there too. And then God told the Jews to build his temple on top of it. Then the Jews had two temples on top of the Holy of the Holy. And the first one was built by King Solomon, son of King David. The second one was rebuilt by King Herod. But King Herod wanted to impress. He likes to kill people, remember the innocent children, but he wants to impress people as well. Then what he did, he looked at the temple and said, oh, it's too small. It's really too small. Then he destroyed everything that was around it, built 4 walls. And you can see the eastern wall. I'm sure that you heard about the western wall as well, which is the other side of it. And by that he built a big plaza. On top of it, he could build the Jewish temple that was between 2 to 3 times higher than the Dome of the Rock of today. Then you can understand that from here, Jesus saw the temple. He knew already what will happen to Jerusalem and the temple. But from here, he could see it. Then I'm blessing those 2 crosses of Junkkari, Lari, and Kaija. And of course, the other one of Berkey. Oh, so easy to remember. Probst. Joe and Sandra. Remember, I'm waiting for some links for your music. And I love organ. I love organ. And I'm waiting for you, my Canadian friends. Then you can see here the amazing, or the most important olive trees. Inside the church, I will show you a few things. The minute we will enter, I want you to see the domes at the ceiling. You can see the domes from here as well. But you will see that we are in that story. We are part of it. Then you will see the darkness. It's an ugly thing. It was at midnight. You will see the olive branches. And every dome symbolizes one of the nations that helped to build that church. Another thing that I will show you is the floor. Bertolucci, when he started to build the church, found the floor from the 4th century. He found the mosaic floor, and then he changed his floor to that. But under the glass windows at the floor, you will see the remains of the 4th century floor. Another thing that I want you to see is the rock. That's where Jesus was praying. And as I believe they won't let me go in there, but if they will, I will enter. And the amazing mosaic of the agony of Jesus. And the last mosaic wall that I will show you will be of Jesus and Judas' kiss. Later on, when we go out of the church, I will show you a few more important things. But here I love to read from Matthew 26:39. My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And I don't know who wrote what I'm going to read now, but it's amazing. Oh Jesus, in deepest night and agony, he spoke these words of trust and surrender to God, the Father, in Gethsemane. In love and gratitude, I want to say, in times of fear and distress, my Father, I do not understand you, but I trust you. And if you ask me, this is the best time to read it. We are still in the COVID system. We are trying to live with it. There's a new virus, a new variant. I'm not even, I don't know even the name of it, but soon we will talk about it. Then my Father, I do not understand, but I trust you. Then let's go in, and from that moment, I will try to be as quiet as I can. Although you know that I don't know how to be quiet. Let's look for the English version. Aha, and we can see the mosaics related to mosaics and the countries. Oh, that's not in English, but you can understand it anyhow. If we're talking about the church, you can see there are 3 different churches, and the modern, the Byzantine, and the Crusader church. It looks like they're gonna have a mass. This is the first mass in 2 years that I can see here. Wow, it brings me back to 2019. מה שלומך? אחלה תמונות. Then, look at that tree. It looks old. I don't know if you saw my previous video. Then I told you that it's like I show you 50, 60 years old trees. And some of you said, oh no, it looks older than that. The tree that you see right there in front of you, the small one next to the sign, is of Franciscus, the Pope. And it was planted at 2014. Then you can imagine how old is that tree in front of you. And let me show you another tree that was planted by the Pope. And because there's a master and I cannot bless the crosses on the stone that Jesus was praying on, I will check that part of that stone. It's the same one, but outside the church, mainly for non-Catholic. But for me, there's no difference. I mean, there are differences, but if you believe in Jesus, you're a Christian, then it's more than enough for me. And I believe that to love each other is better than to hate. No, to hate, it takes a lot of bad energy, a lot of energy. Then here it is, in front of you. And I want you to see two more things before we say goodbye. This is a 1964 tree planted by São Paulo. Again, a Pope visited that place in 1964. And the last one, the last thing that I want you to see here is that piece. I think that area needs it, and so beautiful to see it in front of you. It's so nice that the Franciscans, the Catholic, added it to the garden. Then thank you very much for being with me. It's almost 30 minutes. If you reach that point, please write me something. And secondly, don't forget to subscribe my channel, and you can ask me whatever you want. At the description you'll find my professional Facebook and Instagram, and you can do that through that as well. And thank you very much. Bye bye.